Hey guys, Jay Nice on the mic. So I watched a interview on the Breakfast Club. You guys, my guilty pleasure is watching Breakfast Club interviews on YouTube. For those of you guys who don't know what the Breakfast Club is, um, it is a radio show. I believe it comes on. It's from maybe six a.m. to 10 a.m. It's on. It broadcasts here in New York, in the tri-state area, and they do interviews with celebrities, authors, media personalities, and a few weeks ago they had Spike Lee up there, and I love a lot of Spike Lee's movies. Um, and Spike Lee was talking about the gentrification of New York. And I just wanted to give my thoughts and ask you guys for your opinions. I live in New York, so I was really interested to see what he had to say. As you guys know, Spike Lee is from New York, born and raised. But he was saying that he feels like gentrification isn't always a good thing because, especially in New York is like the melting pot of the world. You know, there's no place like New York. And you go to Harlem, you go to some place like Harlem that has so much culture and and so much so much history. And you go to somewhere like Brooklyn, you go to somewhere like Queens, and these places are becoming gentrified. And for those of you guys who don't know what gentrification is, it is when um, it is when people of a higher income bracket move into lower income areas and thus increase the property values of those areas. Um, Typically, it is lower income minority areas, and oftentimes when non-minorities move into those areas, non-minorities of who are middle class or upper class, they increase the property values because, as you guys may or may not know, when minorities move into white neighborhoods, the property values in those neighborhoods decrease. So a lot of people are for gentrification because um, you know they feel like it's a good thing for low income and lower class neighborhoods because you're sprucing these neighborhoods up, you're jazzing them up, you're increasing property values. But what happens to the people who lived in those neighborhoods? They can't afford to live there anymore, and they have to move out and move away. And where are they going to go? Where are these residents going to go? And on top of that, gentrification, one of the most negative consequences is you're removing the culture. If you have Jamaicans and Africans and all types of ethnicities and culture in one area, when gentrification happens, which is typically when whites move into those lower income, high crime areas, the property values go up. But when the whites move in, the minorities often move out. So what happens to these these displaced people? Where do they go? So um, I do understand the need for gentrification, but at the same time, I don't know if I agree with it 100% because I do feel like you are removing the culture from an area. And that is extremely detrimental to somewhere like New York City, and the boroughs of New York because I moved to New York because of the culture, because of the melting pot, because of the different types of people. If New York was like rural Texas, I wouldn't have moved here. One of the main reasons I moved here was because it's a melting pot. So, um, what is the solution to gentrification, or how do you gentrify a neighborhood but keep the culture too? Can you have one and the other, or is it when you have one you can't have the other? So let me know what you guys think. If you guys live in New York and feel like it's becoming extremely gentrified, or if you guys live in states or cities where gentrification has happened and what you think of it. And I will check you guys out next time.